Hey, what is going on, IK fam? Beathead, we are back again today, out here risking it to get that biscuit on the daily. Really excited. Today, I wanted to show you, the player, what you can do from when you wake up in the morning, you've been off for a while, what should be your start to finish kind of daily routine. At least give you an example of one using mine of what you should do on your account inside and outside of your city from kind of A to Z. And hopefully this will help you at least be able to cover a lot of what you should once you get to a certain level. Pretty much once you get Castle 15, that's when your Mysterium unlocks and you will be able to start utilizing any and pretty much all of your buildings. So let's start off and let me walk you through what I do when I'm starting my day off. Right, and again, I'm going to talk about this from the perspective of really just an average player being and also a member of an alliance, right? Not an officer or a lead. So the first thing I'll do when I get on is I'll usually always kind of do my helps, right? I'll do my online reward timer up here on the top right, and that's mainly because, right, these are time-based. So anything that's time-based, I want to try and get those out of the way as soon as I can. Let's say I have max resources, and because they're maxed, right, which kind of has that yellow goldish tan border on around the material icon, right? I'll click all these. I'll just do this as an example, even though I have done this for the morning, but I'll click on these, and I'll make sure all of these are grabbed. And then, after that, I'll go ahead and look over at, we can do Hall of Immortals, that's an example. We'll come back to this as well. But we'll do Hall of Immortals, right, because again, my free attempts for the Philosopher's Shards, those are on a 5-minute timer. I'll come over to Treasury. I already have something going. Otherwise, I'll make sure that I always try and have my Treasury filled with 3 chests. And then I'll look at my Academy, right? Is there anything I need to do tech-wise? Now, usually what I'll do for the Treasury is I'll make sure that, and before I get to the Academy as well, Treasury, I always make sure that I try and time out my chests, so that way I am able to make sure I'm purifying or I'm unlocking the ones on a daily basis for what I can do during that period of time that I'm going to be online. So if I have a 12-hour one, well, I probably may not hit the 12-hour one right away because there's a good chance I might be in bed earlier than 12 hours from whenever I'm recording it. Let's say it's 2 p.m. or whenever I'm about to unlock it. If it's 2 p.m. and I'm going to hit a 12-hour, I probably won't hit the 12-hour. I'll probably just keep attacking more chests, so I can try and get something that's like a 6 or a 3, right? Try to time out the longer ones, specifically the 12 hours first, and then the 6 hours, right, to start unlocking those before you go to bed. Then Academy. For Academy, I like to kind of go production, troops, immortal, and then defense in more or less that order. I think the most important ones in production is, of course, speedy construction, right? Gold piles is nice because that increases your dwelling tax, right? Which, again, is going to increase the amount of gold income you get from those buildings. And then rapid response, which is the tech research speed up. Now, warehouse extension is nice as well, just kind of increasing your cap. And, of course, enhanced protection, because when you get into something like eventually an SVS, right, when they come out with that, that is something that will be nice because you'll have a higher cap on the amount of resources that are actually protected, meaning that you'll be able to probably have somewhat of a minimum bubble or threshold that will allow for you to utilize those saved resources, right, to still doing troop training. Then you get over to troops, of course, superhuman speed, which is your marching, and then, right, abundant supplies. This is probably I would say arguably maybe the next best, if not the best tech that you can actually research from your academy, because it decreases the AP consumption when a troop goes out to march for anything, right? It could be for attacking a city, attacking a gnome, a gnome boss, right? And you can get that up to 30% reduction. So if it plays out the way I assume or maybe hope, would be, if I have to go and I'm attacking something that is 100, that takes 100 AP, right, it would only cost me 70. Now, whether or not it's a flat rate like that or close, right, the fact that you're still able to save up to up to 30% once you get there is nice. Then eventually you get to Immortals, which is veteran, right, combat experience earned by Immortals, right. Of course, you want to do that boosting consumption. You want to level this one up probably next once you get to Immortals. And the way I like to do it is if you have the production tree maxed out, already for where you want to get to, then go to troops. When you get the troop tree maxed out to ideally where you want to get to, then go to Immortals. Right now, troops and Immortals, you could probably flip-flop this. I just like troops more because of the AP reduction. But Immortals cannot be understated when you can reduce the amount of gold that it costs to upgrade the boost level for your Immortal. And I'll show you that real quick. Let's just take Herald, for example. Boost is here in top right. It's where your shield is, right? This will, once you get all of the pieces here, right, then you'll do the upgrade, and then it'll tell you how much gold it costs. It's lowering that amount. So you have to think boost level maxes at 20. That means you're going to hit it 20 times to get to, or I guess maybe 19, because technically you start at level 1, going from there. Let's see real quick. So I'm not tripping. It is 0. Never mind. It is 0 that you start off in. So it is going to be 20 levels. Thank God we confirmed. Or Buddha, whoever you pray to. And so from there, keep in mind, that's 20 levels you're going to have to increase on your boost times however many, right? At least at minimum 16. Because, right, if you're filling out your 4 marches, or sorry, I should, no, it's not 16. I'm thinking there's 4. There is 4, yeah, because you're not boosting the dragon. So you guys, 16 Immortals you're going to boost, right, times 20. God, what is that, 320? Right, if that's right? So that's 320 times you're going to upgrade, right? And again, that's only if you don't replace any of your Immortals with new ones that come out. So again, taking advantage of the boost is going to be really important, right? And then eventually you're going to get to Ascending Talent, which is nice too, because it's going to get you the initial energy, and that's kind of going to be how you're going to round out your first 3 trees before you get to Defense. So we did Treasury, we did Academy, Dragon Cave. Again, this is really, I mean, you're going to check this daily, right? You might even check it every other day. Really what you're just going to go in here and check for is, do you have enough gold to upgrade? I don't yet. Do I have enough crystals to upgrade, right? And again, I'm just kind of doing a simple max and then moving over. Some people will do like a 1-1, 2-2-2, 3-3-3, right? They'll kind of level it up evenly. Of course, up to you. But you're really just going to check that just to see if you're able to upgrade one of those, whether it's a talent or the actual level. Now let's go back to Immortals, and we'll kind of just do a circle, right? Anytime I get these. Now we'll do Hall of Immortals. I'm going to do another free summon. We'll get that. After I do a 9 pull, or I do any of my summons in Hall of Immortals, I'll immediately go to my Alchemy Lab, and then I'll just dismantle any of the Immortals that I'm not using. You can see I'm utilizing the lock feature, which you click the lock button up here, you choose and select which Immortals you want, you go back, and that way you'll always have them saved, right? They'll never accidentally be dismantled. After I do that, I'll go to Market. And then in Market, I'm really, for where I'm at now currently, I'm only really looking to do epic Immortal pulls, right? So I don't bother with any of these, and that's also because I've already finished my daily, or sorry, not my daily, my growth achievement, a growth mission achievement for Market. So you can see here I don't have it anymore, and that's where it caps out at 5,000. So once you do 5,000 pulls, or I guess purchases, if you want to call it that, buys here in the market, right, that's when it stops. Now, if you're under 5,000, then the tip there is just keep purchasing everything that's purple, right? And then whenever you get to a point where you have an Immortal that you don't want to dismantle, just make sure you're utilizing that feature in the Alchemy Lab. But you just purchase all the purples, you go to the Alchemy Lab, you recycle, and then you go right back to the market. And you just, again, rinse, wash, and repeat. And that's going to help you boost out your growth achievement there for that task. Then we move over, and again, Harbor. With Harbor, I like to do Harbor once a day. Right now, this is different if you're on a jumper account, right? We'll probably talk about that later in another video, but in short, I just don't really recommend doing anything with that. As far as on your main account, though, right, I like to do the 1 12-hour a day just so I can get the 5 from daily, which I'll show you. I think we did it here on sailing. Wherever that is, a little farther down. Here we go. Oh, did I not do the sailing? I thought I already did sailing. Wow, if I didn't, then we'll do it real quick. Oh yeah, sail one time. Okay, so we'll do that, right? That's going to give us the 5 activity points. So here, we'll do a sail real quick. I'll show you that. So I like to do the 12-hour, and I only do 1 a day. And then we'll grab these, and you can, right, and then of course we're always checking these, right, for dailies. We're checking these for our alliance missions. So we can make sure that we're capturing those. We talked about the online reward timer. Now let's go to Forge. So for Forge, this is pretty, again, they have updated this, which is nice. So now you can kind of see which type of artifact is applied to which Immortal type. And again, you can always go and look, right? So you can see this is like the staff. So if I go to Immortal, right, let me go to someone who probably has a staff, right? So here you go, magic, right? You can see Baldwin as an example. Let me see someone who's probably, let me just go to a purple so I can give an example of someone who's like a little more attainable. Probably Med, yeah. So Med B, right, here you go, magic. You can obviously see that because it's the same, right, that's who one of these items will pan out for. Now, keep in mind, it's probably going to be easier to get some of the lower grade tiers, even purples, rather than it is the epics. But again, it's up to you. And you can click on the shards here. It'll tell you where you can get these, right, which is most likely for the majority of us going to be on the 4th floor of Mysterium, in addition to the new event that they released. Which, let me see if I can see it here on the calendar. I can give you an example. So, it's not Infernal Assaults. I think it's Battle. Is it Battle? Where's the artifacts? Yeah. So it's Battle of Asteria, right, where you can obtain immortal artifacts, right? That's going to be the other event that you'll be able to get more of those pieces to then utilize in the Forge. And then we'll get to Arena. Arena is the next thing I'll check. And that's pretty much just me doing ones, right? So I'll do the times ones for the most part. If I see a times two if I can. I'm really just trying to get to my 3 chests. Now keep in mind, this is all from a free-to-play perspective, right? Or from a near free-to-play perspective, I should say. And you're really just going to do your, trying to get to 3, you just want to try and get to the chest as much as you can, but doing these dailies, right, because it's going to accumulate these shards for you. I just got done using these as well to unlock Kin Emperor, right, which is another piece for my Wind March. So, and again, right, this because I'm on Season 4. And then from there, let me see what else. If you need to do a garrison, right, you need to replenish any of yours. I don't really have to. I'm only really missing 17, 18,000 there. And then you're going to do your daily. So you're going to go up here to your special bundles, you do daily deals, you go redeem, and then you're going to make sure that you get this. And again, you do that every day. If you've purchased anything, right, make sure you're doing those in the daily as well. You'll come up here to VIP, and then VIP you need to make sure you're claiming. All of those, don't let those go to waste. I'll check nobility. I'll grab my daily nobility chest. And I think that probably covers the majority. Oh, Wishing Fountain. So we'll talk about that with Wishing Fountain, right? How I like to do Wishing Fountain is I like to do wood, stone, and iron that I focus on for the most part. And I'm going to tell you why. So if we look at the average cost of buildings, right, you can see that for castle, I'm mostly going to be using stone, right? Wood and iron are mixed. Then if I look at my Bowman Barracks, oh, I can't actually click on that while it's going. Let's look at Hospital. So for Hospital, you'll see again, right, wood, stone, iron, right? Tower of Knowledge, wood, stone, iron, wall, wood, stone, iron, right, for the big stuff. Now for the RSS buildings, for example, something like my farms, I'm using wood, stone, iron again. Now for the lumber mill, the quarry, and the smeltery, I'll give you an example of each. Right, I'm using food, stone, and iron, no wood for this one. Let's go to the quarry. Same thing, food, wood, iron. And then we'll go to the smeltering. Food, wood, stone. Oh, never mind, I guess the stone and the iron does change. Wow, it must have been on the other two that it showed up different. Let's take a look again. Okay, so there's 2 iron, or I see. Stone and iron, food, stone, iron for 1, food, wood, stone, then food, wood, iron. So it actually is different here with a little bit spread out. But keep in mind that even though the food is decent, the majority of your other buildings, like your barracks buildings and the other ones, are mainly going to be using wood, stone, and iron like you can see here. Even if I click on the forge, wood, stone, iron, same thing, right? So again, recognizing that the most resources that you're really going to be using is going to be wood, stone, and iron, right? With a little bit of sprinkle food mixed in. So that's why I like to always keep my wood, stone, and iron higher than my food. In addition, when I'm in the Wishing Fountain, I try to always keep these numbers pretty equal, right? So I've already done my 18 pulls for today, and it was really just me boosting my wood and my iron up a little bit more to try and catch up to stone. So that's what I recommend doing when it comes to that. Again, you'll make sure that you do your Mysterium, right? That's the other thing. This is one of the things I like to do last, though, mainly because this is going to take you about 15 to 20 minutes, give or take, just depending on how quickly you go. Now let's briefly talk about, let me talk about Barracks real quick, because that's the other thing we have to touch on, and then we're going to talk about the things you're going to do outside of your city. So let me go back in. Now with Barracks, it's pretty simple, right? You're going to always be training. You never want to stop training until you hit your growth achievement, right? Which, again, I'm not sure if this stops at 10 mil or when it is, but you can see here for elite troops, right? I'm working on this one, which is going to 7 million. In this, you need to look at how many troops are using. If you're free to play, like, for the most part, I'm like really low spend. I'm only working on one primary march, which is my water. You can see that I have barracks, I have cav, and I have shieldmen. right? You're always going to need bowmen. My recommendation is that you should keep your bowmen at like 2/5 to 1/3 of your training grounds capacity, and then like split up the rest. So if you do a 2/5, then you would do like 1/3 cav, shieldmen, and spearmen, depending on what your lineups are. For me, I have cav and shieldmen. So with my spearmen, I can just get rid of this 100k at a time. Like I just got rid of about 90 to 95k of it a little earlier, and now you see I'm at 100 even, right? That also frees up my training grounds, right? So now I'm at 328, which is about that, right, out of 430. And that just allows for you to always keep training, and then you're getting rid of the troop type that you're using the least amount, whether that's in your primary or your secondary. Now, let's say you have 2 marches or more because you're spending a little bit, or maybe you're just are free to play leveling up both. Then in that case, you would want to get rid of each of your spearmen, cav, and shieldmen in percentage basis. And that's mostly because you're probably never going to get your bowman to a certain point just by doing standard training per day, right? Unless you did some kind of bulk training, that would be different. Now let's talk about what are you going to do outside of your city. Well, some of the things we touched on before is that you're going to be making sure you are attacking gnome bosses. I always like to start with gnome bosses, and I will make sure that, and let me see if I can give you an example here. So let's zoom out a little bit, and we'll zoom out. I'm going to scroll down, and then I'm going to look for a gnome boss that I can find, if there's one around. Fantastic. So I'll attack my gnome boss, and then I'll come back, and I'll keep doing it. So I think I had 1 cooking right now as far as 1 dragon chest in my treasury. Now what I'm going to do is I'll keep attacking until I get 3 chests. Once I get 3 chests in my treasury, then I'll go and do the gnomes, right? Now I can do up to 25, but usually I'll just do 24. So I'll do all my 24s after I make sure I have 3 chests in my treasury. I'll keep attacking the gnomes, but I'll do it one at a time. So I'll do a Trent, a Bach, and a Roke, and I'll kind of go in that order. And then I'll do that until my AP is gone. Once the AP is gone, right, then you can also do Well of Time. So you'll come Well of Time, right, you'll make sure that you're always below whatever your max is, and that's because you always want to keep generating energy, right, or stamina points, right? And you can see here, this is the rate it generates per 1. And so, again, always make sure that you're under your cap. This is something that some people sometimes forget to do, with me redundantly using the word some, and just make sure that you are burning and draining that on Well of Time. Usually I always go highest to lowest, so I'll start with, because I've completed 8-6, so I'll do 8-6, 8-4, 8-2, so on and so forth. Now after you do your gnomes and you're done there, right, then you can go in and do gathering, right? So as an example, because I have my guy already going out, I'm going to go out here, I'll just click on wood, I'll click on iron, and then, oh, never mind, he's actually already gathered, I already have some out. So again, just make sure you have your 3 gatherers out, right? And for me, because I just already have a good amount of food, I don't really need to do anything right now. I'll probably wait till these get to like 30 or 35 mil, maybe even 40 million before I consider doing food again. And you're just always going to be gathering pretty much nonstop. Now, obviously, you want to try and do that within your alliance's territory because you do get the boost from that. Again, you can see here, right, I get a plus 100k. Just because we occupy Kratos, we get a plus 100k, so that means I'm at 390k gathering speed, right, for the nodes that we're looking at. So again, always a bonus. And I don't know if there's a 7 here. I think I actually just found one. So here, now you can see, right, once you go up in RSS tile levels, now it's a plus 150k, right? So now I'm getting, what's that, 585k an hour? That's a lot. So again, right, good tips to hopefully look at. And then really you're just going to look at events, right? If there's anything you can do in here, do your daily sign-ins. If there's anything else that's red, always a good thing to click on, right? In this case, for one of the events going on, we've already done a couple there. You'll look at items, see if there's any VIP that you can pop or any gems. You'll also then take a look at your alliance, right? So you'll go through alliance, you'll look at, is there anything I can donate? Okay, cool, I'm going to be a good contributing member and donate to the thumbs up or the recommended tech. Then I'll go to territory, I'll grab that, and then I'll go outside of this, and after I do alliance, then I'll do ruins, right? So I need to make sure I'm doing my ruins, right? Always clicking on those. And again, the purple ones you're seeing me do right now are mainly because I have all the level 1, 2, and 3s at 100% already, right? And these pop up only off of clues, so you're not actually going to be able to look around for these special tiles, which is kind of like level 4 if you really want to consider it that. So that's why it's important for you to try and finish your ruins as fast as humanly possible, so then you can start getting to these purple, or the Angela remnants ruins, we can call them. And then lastly is going to be mails and messages, right? So you'll pop up your mail. Do I have any system mails here? Read through those. Battles, these are just reports if maybe you were attacked. And then the most important one is the Alliance tab. Take a look and see if your Alliance has sent out any mails. There's some here for Illusion Battlefield that they've sent out. And then I believe there's one here for rallying, castle placement, for sieging a city. Always good to make sure you check these on a daily basis and look for those, right? Now, after you do that, then you're just going to check your messages. Has anyone messaged you? Is there a green? Is there like a green icon here? Is there a squiggly red line, which indicates a direct message? That means someone pinged you in one of the chats, whether that be your Alliance, Kingdom, or World. And then I'll also just go scroll through. Like, I'll look at the last 10 to 20 messages in Alliance chat just to see if there's maybe any relevant conversation. I'll just do a quick check, and then I'm right back. And then, again, that kind of rounds out your dailies as far as what you'll focus on. Now, the last thing I'll mention is buildings. Buildings, I would say the way I usually go about this is I try and do all of my short-length buildings and at times research. But for my buildings, I'll do, like you can see right now, I have this one going, which is my Bowman Barracks. I still got a day left. I'm just going to do the farm. So I'm going to click this, and then I'm going to do this farm. And I'm going to do these because I want to do the shorter building upgrades during my most active online times. Then, before I go to sleep, I'll do something that is probably going to take 10 hours or more because based after I get the help, so it'll probably reduce to about 7 or 8 hours, give or take. And then I want to make sure, because I'm usually sleeping about 8 hours, right, that I can then maximize or min-max my time through building and then through any academy research as well, based on how long I'll be asleep. And I think that pretty much rounds it out. Man, we covered a lot more than I thought we would. And I want to say I'm hoping that I touched on almost everything, if everything. And with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed. I guess the very last thing, now that I'm thinking about it, you could go through your Immortals, right? And you can check to see if there's anyone here that you can upgrade, right? That's always something good to check. And so I'll go here, right? Cool, I see I can finally get my Merlin to 6 stars. Oh, sick life. And then I'll also check, can I upgrade anyone? Right, so I'm not really upgrading these guys after I got them to 39, which I'm now thinking I could have probably just stopped investing in experience tomes in them after I got them to probably maybe even like 35 or 36, and then just started using my experience tomes in my second and my third march. But normally, if they weren't 39, I would see if I can upgrade any of them. And, I mean, there's a good chance I probably could. I imagine I have enough, but it doesn't look like it's going to allow for me to do that like it would if I was to come here and you see the level up icon. Then I'll see also, can I upgrade the boost level, right? So you see a thing here. Cool, I can do this at, what, 7.2. So we'll just do a couple here. I'll do a few more. I didn't get enough, so that's it. That's the rest of the stamina I have. I'll see if I can, after getting materials, can I boost them right if I get all 6? And then I'll look at equipment. So is there any equipment that I can level up? Right, okay, so I'll go here. I got some legendary equipment. I'll see if I can level any of these up. Oh, cool, I can. So I'll just do a quick one. I like to do them here at the same rate. And I almost have all these gold pieces at 35 to get the resonance bonus, and then I'm done, right? And again, in the alchemy lab, I guess this is, gosh, I always feel like this is the last thing I'm going to talk about. But man, there's a lot that I do on my day. I didn't realize it takes me this long to kind of go through these things. And again, keep in mind, right, we're at about 23 minutes right now, and I would still have to go through and finish all of my gnomes, my gnome bosses, and then eventually come back and do Mysterium, right? So you're probably looking at maybe 45 to 60 minutes, right, just to maybe complete your dailies as far as doing everything. But then for the equipment, I'll do Alchemy Lab, right? I'll see, is there any equipment that I can dismantle? Why am I going Final Manager? Here we go, right? So I'll do this. I'll go ahead and dismantle all the equipment I don't need. You can even check your second, third, and fourth marches and put equipment on them as well, even if you don't level it, but you're just putting it on them so it increases their power and then eventually load capacity as well, factoring in. And so I'll go through here. I'll see however many I can do. I'll just go until I get to maybe the purples, which hopefully that'll be soon. And then after you dismantle these, right, however many crystals you get back, you can then go back to your Immortals and then level up their equipment a little bit more. So this is just something to keep in mind as far as, again, kind of going through that min-max procedure of getting as much as you can. I don't even know if I could now. Let me see here if I can do a 32. Do I even have enough? I do. Wow, barely. Look at that. I barely got enough to do one more level. Nice. We'll do it. And that's it. So I think that's it now. Totally officially thinking that's it. So I'm going to end here. on this now almost 25-minute video note, wow, there's a lot of stuff, like I said, that I didn't even think would take me this long to do before I even got to the other bigger pieces, again, like burning all the AP and doing Mysterium. But I hope this helps and gives you somewhat of an idea, maybe a structured format of what you can do, or maybe just let you know of maybe something you're missing. In addition, I would love to know what you, the players, think. Do you have a different order that you like to go through when you are doing your dailies and logging in for the first time right after you wake up? Do you find that you have a similar order to mine or completely different, right? Do you find a different route to be a little more efficient as far as through time management? Let me know that, what you guys think on the video in the comments down below. That is it for me. Finally, I'm out. As usual, we'll catch y'all later.